Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, huge massive thank you for the support. I really do appreciate your joining me and staying with me. So I'm coming back again with the Special Days luxury topper collection. I think there's about 3 more left to do, and then I've worked through the whole kit. This one is called a relaxing retirement. So we've got a massive topper here, which is about 5 by 5. You've got this country inn one with the little dog there, and then a close up of the little dog with some welly boots. We've got a sentiment topper there, raise a glass to retirement. We've got a border. We've got sit back and relax, all the best for the future. Enjoy the peaceful moments, happy retirement, and then that little cat, the same little cat that's there. So many, when you look at these toppers, sometimes you can see all the little details, and it's really cute. And then the foiled one, we've got this beautiful foiled leafery along the top, and that little dog with the rucksack at the country inn. And then the printed one has got the cat somewhere. Is the cat on here? No, he's gone. Oh, there he is. Look, there he is at the top. And there's a little bee there as well. So that's the printed one. And then I got the big pack. So I've got 2 sets of the inserts, but I've already cut one up for the first card. So let's just pop these out of the way for a second. And I'm going to bring in a piece of 6 by 12 300 GSM white cardstock, and I've already just scored down the middle at 6 inches. I'm going to do a sort of cutaway card to use up that big topper. So with it being 5 by 5, it's going to take up pretty much most of the cardstock. So I thought it would be nice to do a bit of a cutaway one with it. And the other option was to go sort of a bigger card, 7 by 7 or a 6 by 8, that sort of thing. But all I've done here is just cut at 8 inches to give me my card with the lip there. And then I've just used, cut 2 inches off the bottom. So I'm going to have that cutaway section in the middle that I like. So I've got some acetate here. And I'm just going to cut this at just 1 notch under the 6. And I think it's around about 2 notches under the 6 the other way. Yeah, this is Crafter's Companion acetate, so it's got the coating on it. And then I'm going to grab some Miri mats, 6 by 6. So the back piece, actually let's put the card together first of all. Okay, so let's just pop that out of the way for a second. And like I say, with this Crafter's Companion acetate, on one side there will be a coating. So if you just poke your knife into the side, if it comes away, then you've got the right side. If not, just turn it over. If you just do it in the little corner, then you know it's likely going to be hidden anyway, depending on where you're going to put your acetate. You can see if you peel that off, and that's the difference. So you've got that clear, and then you can see where that is. It's a little bit cloudy. Okay, so let's pop that back. So if we bring this over, obviously this piece is going to go back into there. So I'm going to bring in some red liner tape, super sticky. You don't want to go too close to the edges, because we are going to want those to be visible. So back there and there should be fine. So let's just give that a little burnish down. There we go. Actually, and another thing I haven't done, let's bring that in. That a good burnish down as well. Just make sure that fold stays down nice and flat. It's just going to make it the whole thing easier for me to work with. Now I've cut this 6 by 6. Really you don't need to. You can just get away with maybe a 3.5 inch piece and just cover that gap. I've probably been a bit wasteful here. Actually, let's just cut that down a bit more, because I can always use the acetate elsewhere. Let's cut it down to 3. Put that in my bit box, scrub that up. Okay, so now what I need to do is just pop this on onto there. And all this is going to do is just give my card back that stability. You can even make this card without putting any acetate there, as long as your toppers are well connected to the top and the bottom of the card. I have done that before. So I've just lined up the base of the bottom of my card, and then we've popped that on. So now we've got our card is back as a card again. So first thing I'm going to do just before I move on is just pop another line of red liner tape along there for the next layer to stick to that acetate, just so it doesn't start peeling up at the end. We can use our normal glues on these pieces here, but let's just give those a quick burnish down and pop that out of the way. Okay, so now we've got our card, so now we can see for our layers. So the first layer I'm going to do is going to be on the inside. So I'm going to take a 6x6 Miri mat. I like to cut it from the reverse side. It doesn't matter which way you cut it really, but this is just my preference, just so it doesn't glare in the camera at you. I'm just going to take 2 notches off 2 of those sides, just to give me a nice 1mm gap. 1mm, 1 notch, it's 1/16 I think technically, all the way around. And then from that insert I've cut a piece that's 5 3/4 squares. So that's just going to give me that tiny bit of a gap all around with that gold again. But it's just because I've just used the pattern side, when you look through, it's just going to give it that nice bit of something in the background, but not something that's going to draw your eye in. So for the top, so I've just got 2 pieces here that are 2x6. So I'm going to start by taking 2 notches off the 6, because that's how long my panels need to be. And then if I turn it around this way, and I'm just going to do 2 notches off the 2, I'm going to do that twice because they're both the same length. Now it's probably worth saying at this point, I'm going to save that for another day, you know, I've gone 2 and 2 with a gap of 2 in the middle. You don't have to go there, you could go 1 1/2. On these ones here you could go 1 at the top and 1 at the bottom. You could go 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. So loads of ways to vary it up. Just because I don't choose to doesn't mean that, you know, you don't have to. You know, you've got options there. So I'm going to take this piece of foiled cardstock and I'm going to cut this down to 5 3/4 because I know that's the length it's going to be. And then 1 3/4 from the bottom. So I'm going to take this lovely little bit of fence. I don't know how much of this top I'm going to get. Let's have a look. So 1 3/4. I'm going to miss some of that leafery. So let's take half an inch off the top. So that would make a nice border anyway. So we'll keep that for another card. And then 1 3/4, we should now have that leafery in. Okay, we've still got a nice piece there, nice sized piece for another card. That should be all the cutting. So let's go ahead and do some assembling. So let's start on the inside. So the glues I'm going to be using today, they're going to be my usual glues. I've got the Kalau all-purpose glue, which is the same as the Hunkydory construction glue. It's an alcohol-based glue. Then I've got the Kalau tacky glue, which is a PVA sort of style glue, sort of water-based. And also because I've got the insert, I'm going to be using the dotted tape pen. I have been experimenting with the sort of the other tape pen, the full one. And I am getting better at it. I think it's something I need to train myself in a little bit. So a huge thank you to Mandy, who did offer to send me some, bless her. And I am having a little play with it now and then, just not on camera. And I'm hoping that I'll get a bit more confident with it. I think a lot of the times some of these tools you just have to keep practicing with to get confident. Okay, so for this paper I'm using the dotty tape pen, because you can't really use this water-based one because it will make the paper bubble up. So if I use that dry glue, the dotty tape pen, I find this gives me a good result. Again, if you've got a glue that works and does this for you, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what I say. That's our inside done. So now we can turn to our gold pieces. So I'm just going to glue them up as normal. Let's take the back off here, being quite brave. But I do want there to be a little bit of a white border between the top and the bottom. There we go. And what I'll do is just put a tail down on this one. So if you want to go a little bit careful, I'm showing you both ways here. Again, my normal glues, even though it's going onto that acetate, it will stick. I just don't think it's as reliable as the super sticky tape. So now what I can do is just fold that little leg down, get that where I want it, and then when I'm happy, give that a little press down, and then super carefully, without moving it, just take that tape out. So you've got the option of both ways. Both ways work. Depends on how confident you are. But now we've covered that acetate up, I'm just going back to my normal glues. So a bit of tacky on the corners and the all-purpose in the middles. And we can just move that to where we want that to go. And this is quite a pretty design. So yeah, nearly finished this one now. So I have ordered the new club gift that was launched at the beginning of the week. So that will be the next thing, working through that. I know you guys love working through that club gift as well. Alright, so let's bring this pretty topper out gently. And let's have a look. So this is going to go over there. Probably not going to have that middle frame. Probably going to go with all the best for the future, and it's probably going to go across like so. But let's get this on. Now what I don't want to do, just because I don't want to have to hide it afterwards, is I don't want to put any foam pads onto the acetate, because obviously when you open it up, that's all the person's going to see. So what I can do is hide this quite well with because we've got a good amount of space at the top and the bottom. So let me grab some foam pads. I'm just going to go with some 1mm ones first of all. There we go. And if I turn that around the other way, what I can do, if I can get them off, is just pop these on all the way around. I have to cut that one in half. There we go. And just cut one of those in half as well. I'm going to apologise as well. I will put a note up separately on the page just to say that there isn't going to be any Wednesday workout this week, just purely because I wasn't very well at the weekend, and I did get behind in all of the jobs that I needed to do, so apologies. I'm not going to have time to do that video this week. That is probably the most time consuming of all the videos I do, purely because there is quite a lot of preparation beforehand, and then obviously the video as well. So yeah, I do apologise, but there won't be one this week. Hopefully we'll be back as normal next week. Okay, I'm on the mend anyway, so you don't have to wish me well. I am, it's just flu bug that just got me over the weekend. Just checking there's not a right and a wrong way. And they all go. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so just drop that down gently. Give that a little push down. And then we'll put that one back in, although we're not going to use it, we're just going to use it to help us put our pads on. And for this one, I'm just going to go with the 2mm ones. I just need to grab some more, maybe. No, we've got some here. Oh, little bits of ones, they will work. Okay. Pop all of these backs off. Oops. Come on, there we go. And you could put more on if you want more pads on, if you want to. I think these are pretty strong pads, so I think we're going to be fine. So a little bit of tacky glue just to give us that little bit of wiggle room time. And then we can pop that in, and then I'm just gently gonna use my knife, might be better. Pop my knife under and just slide that one out. And what I usually do is save these. Sometimes I use them on with the little books and things, but the extra ones I had, the last lot, I just put them all in a little sort of parcel and sent them off to the brownies. Just for them to play with. There was a couple of little books as well and that sort of thing for them to have a little go with. So this one, all the best. Like I said, I'm going to have this coming across here, I think. So I'm going to raise that up there, and then pop, make sure I've got that on the right way. Yep, a 2mm one on there. Hopefully that should bring that all up in line. Yes, it does. And then of course we just need a couple of gems maybe. Pop that across there again. We shouldn't be able to see any of those pads, so that's perfect. And then I think because this one seems a bit more grown up, what I'm going to do is come in with the gold, little gold gems, and I'm just going to pop 2 there and 1 up there, and just grab the picky up tool. I kind of want them all to be the same size, so this is coming to the end now. It's sort of, I have to have a little sort out this little pot and pop them into the other pot. So let's pop that one there. Actually, I'm going to go with that one, and then I'm going to pick a smaller one just because that glue dot is quite close. There we go. And that is going to be our card number 1. So like I say, with that little bit of green coming through, it's just adding to it, it's not detracting. I think if I put the insert behind it, let me just show you, with the picture, it sort of would be, you know, you'd more, maybe that cat would fit in quite nicely there, but you know, it's slightly a bit more busy, so it's a bit more peaceful and calm with that sort of plain background. But I'm just going to get set up for card number 2. Okay, so for card number 2, I thought I'd do like a simple stepper. So I've got a piece of 6 by 12. I'm going to score at 4 inches, and then I'm going to score at 2 and 4 on the other side, just because I've got the smaller board. If you've got the larger board, you can score at 2, 4 and 8. Let's use that actually, it's a bit better for racing these down. So I'm just going to give all these score lines a really nice burnish down, just so they do fold nice and crisp. So that's the sort of shape card you're going to have, and at this point it would fit in a 6 by 4 envelope if you keep everything within those parameters there, if, you know, within the real estate of the card. I'm probably not going to, I'm probably going to end up still going in a 6 by 6. Okay, so I need 2 mats. This one is 4 by 6, or this space is 4 by 6, and this space is 2 by 6. So if I take 2 notches off of one side, and then if I rotate that around, we'll do the smaller piece first of all. So I do 2 notches under the 2. That one's going to fit into there nicely even. And then 2 notches under the 4, which is going to go into that one there. And then this time I'm going to bring in the printed cardstock. And we're going to cut this at 5 3/4. And again 5 3/4. Now I'm thinking 1 3/4, where's that going to be? Okay, so what I'm going to do is take 1/2 inch off the bottom, like so, and then I'm going to turn this round and cut this at 1 3/4, which means I'm going to get that lovely little floral onto the bottom piece there. Now what I will do is pop this back together. Actually, I'll probably put that at the bottom. Or should I put it at the top? Let's move this out of the way, we don't need that anymore. Let's have a little look how we want this card to look. So we could have, so I'm going to join it by using a little bit of ribbon, and obviously we're going to have our topper going over there anyway. Do need to take a bit more off here, or I could just overlap it, which will be fine. Shall I put that at the bottom? I'll put it at the bottom. Okay, so let's start by grabbing some ribbon, and I'm going to bring in this big trough of ribbon that I've got. Now the toppers I'm going to be using, there's blue and there's green. So what I want really is like a fresh green. That might be a bit too bright. Maybe, yeah, we'll go with that one. So apologies about that mess, but I am working on resolving it by trying to buy more ribbons on reels than these little pieces, and then there will be little holes for the ribbons to come out, so I won't even need to open that up. leave that loop there. I'm just trying to pull this out without unravelling the whole thing. Let's go there. I think it's just started to rain. Okay, let's put that there. We'll put that away in a second. Right. So the way I'm going to sort of mend this up is I'm going to pop this on. So again, and this could be embossed with your favourite embossing folder, whether it be Hunkydory or somewhere else. I think it would quite look nice with the Lisa Horton 3D script one, and there's loads of Spellbinder ones as well that would be really great. There's probably thousands of other makes out there as well that would look lovely. So I'm just going to pop this on where I'm just looking at the border and trying to match it up with the sides and the top. And I've used the tacky glue just because that tends to glue a little faster. And then we can just get some red liner tape. I'm just going to pop a little bit there, a little bit there, just making sure that's not moved. In fact, what I think I'll do is just put that to the side a minute. We'll do this other bit and affix it to the card, and then I will pop that ribbon on. Just give that little border bit that I've just put on just a chance to sort of glue down properly before I start turning it over and manipulating it. Again, if you've got an embossing folder that's wood pattern, you could pop it in just at the side, as long as it's not a 3D one. If it's a 2D embossing folder, it will work. And then you could just pop that along there. So this bit can go straight onto our card. Just give it a nice press down. Okay, now I can come back to this. Take these off. And if you didn't want to do this with ribbon, what you could do is use another piece of card, maybe the border, something like that. What I'm going to do is just lay that ribbon over that fold and tuck that around the back. And then we'll come over, just keep it nice and sort of taut. In. You don't have to make a bow with it, you can just leave it as it is. Now what I like to do is just put a little bit of this PVA glue underneath. It just stops it fraying, and it's just an extra point of contact with that glue. So not really going to see it, but it's just an extra detail on the card. Just put that on, put that in, put that up. So that is the card as it stands at the moment. Just got a little bit of glue on there because I've got glue on my fingers. Just do that on my jeans. Just going to take this glue eraser. A little white pepper. Just sometimes it can just go a bit shiny on the card, that's all. So that's that card base, so looking good as it is. So what I thought I would have was this little country inn and our little doggy, and I think we'll go with sit back and relax. So it could be for anything really, couldn't it? It could be retirement, could be somebody just taking a break, you know, could be anything. Okay, so what I was thinking was, if I have my house and my dog this way because he's facing this way, and then if I have this other dog at the front because he's facing there, they're sort of, it's kind of joining that picture up a little bit. So again, I'm going to separate these frames because I've got it coming over the top, I do want there to be that little bit of air flow through it. So I think we're going to go to about, I don't want to come over the top of the card, so I think we'll go to around about, we'll come up a bit, we'll go to about there. So let's just pop that on. Make sure I've got that the right way. Yes, I have. And just again with 1mm foam pads, we cut these in half because this is a narrower frame. But if I pop that there, and then I know I just need to do those bottom pieces. And if you've got these sort of Hunkydory little thin strips, they would be perfect for this. Just how I feel, I need a little bit on there. So let's just take one more piece. And there. And we can just take these off. Again, I'm going to use tacky glue on there just to give me that little bit of wiggle room time. You know, I love to do that. There we go. So let's bring our card back in. We know our pads are around about there. We go around about there, I think. It feels quite straight, but let's have a little look. Maybe we could do it just going over a little bit that way. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. And then I'm just going to do that same trick again. Let's pop that in. And let's pop some of these 2mm ones on. Again, you could go higher if you wanted to. Depends on what sort of envelope you want to pop it into. But let's pop plenty on there. Oh, I don't know why I took that out. You want that in numpty. Okay. Oops. And then we'll pop some tacky glue on here. And then we can bring our little doggy back in. And it should be fine. So again, we've got another frame there that we can use for another time. Now for this front one, I'm just going to take one 1mm foam pad. And we'll pop that onto there. So now we've got our little doggies looking at each other. Now I think I'm going to come in with 2mm on here just to vary those heights, make a bit of interest. Again, tacky glue. We just want to make sure we get it nice and straight. Let's go around about there. And then to finish, I think we need some green gems. So I'm going to go with these these are nail ones, which are really sparkly. And I think what I'm going to do is pop 3. Move that down. So like I say, you can hardly see that ribbon, but it's just doing that job of hiding that little join. So, and I don't know why, but nail gems are way more sparkly than normal crafting gems. So I don't know why that is, but whether they're made of something else, but they are definitely a lot sparklier. So that is all I'm going to do with that one. I'm not doing any others, just 3 little gems at the back there. And that's difficult to show you, but you would see them on a shelf just about in the background, just adding that little bit of sparkle. So that is card number 2. Obviously I put a bit of insert in there, just a 4x6 piece. I usually just take 2 notches off 4, 2 notches off 6 and just put it in. I don't mat and layer it onto gold, not just for the insert. It seems like a waste basically, but that's just me. If you want to put it on gold, do you do you, it's all good. But those are the 2 cards today from a relaxing retirement. You can see I've got those 2 squares there. That one's a sentiment in its own with enjoy the peaceful moment. We've got the border, we've got the razor glass, which is another sentiment one. I've got the printed cardstock, and I've also got the foiled one, which I think had that greenhouse on, didn't it? The Country Inn, not greenhouse. I'm just looking at the insert. I've got that blue piece there, an insert, and at the moment I've got, because I haven't cut a piece for that yet, a whole insert and that half. But that's it for today. So I'm going to come back again with this kit. Like I say, there are 3 more sets to use. I did say I was going to work through the whole kit on this one, and then after we've done that, I'm going to move on to the club gift, which is beautiful. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's all beautiful navy colours, and I just can't wait to get mine. But that's it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye.